Hey everyone, this is Dave A. Gardner, and you're listening to the heart of Juliet Jones Fan Fiction Podcast. This is part... what part is it again?
7, Dave.
That's right. Thank you, Eve.
It's part 7 of Finding Her Dream. That's me. I mean, mine. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dave, and you are absolutely correct. What is a small-town girl like me doing in a place like New York City for the Miss Teen USA pageant?
Well, no, Eve, I was actually thinking of...
That's okay, my darling Dave. I know you already know the answer, but our lovely listeners out there may not, so let me just tell them anyway. Sound good? My favorite romance novelist in the world? You bet it does.
That sounds like a good idea. Go to it, Eve.
You know what? Before I do, though, let me say a hearty welcome to our dear listeners, and especially first-time listeners, to the Heart of Juliet Jones Fan Fiction Podcast. It's based on the vintage daily comic strip written by Elliot Kaplan and illustrated by Stan Drake that ran from the 1950s to the year 2000. It features my sister Julie and her heart. So yeah, it's always about what her heart is doing. I mean, what about my heart? I have romantic feelings too, you know? Dave knows that, and that's why he's one of the best romance novelists I know. I'm kind of in love with him. I mean, his stories, he's also the author of this fan fiction podcast, in case you didn't already know that. What else am I missing, Dave?
Well, remember, you asked us the question. What is a small-town girl like you doing in a place like New York City for the Miss Teen USA beauty pageant? Why don't you go ahead and answer that for us?
Oh, right. Well, it's kind of a long story, don't you think, Dave? I mean, it took us a whole season to get to this point, so if you really want to know, dear listeners, you can go back and binge all the Season 1 episodes. I have to warn you, though, there's a lot of soliciting of Dave's website and romance writing. But that's only because we love him and his stories. I mean, I love him. Did I say him? I mean his stories. He's an amazing author. Have I told you that? Anyway, the short answer to the question is... you guessed it, finding her dream. Yes, that is why I am here, and that is where I will stay until my dream comes true. Now, in our last episode, one of my dreams did come true. That was modeling. For one whole day, I got to be a supermodel for a photographer named Hector Hollywood. Except, I think that was Heck doing most of the camera lovemaking with his goofy sideways fetish, but then came the shot in the dark. The big shock that threw me and Julie for a loop. Heck was asking for a deposit. I mean, I was like, what? And Julie was all like, what? And you, dear listeners, were like, what? So, yeah. Let's send it over to our super handsome main host over here and listen in to part 7 to see what happens next.
It had been a long day for Eve at Hector Hollywood's modeling agency, dressing in outfits and posing for hours under the hot baking lights. Though Julie was there, watching her with pride from the sidelines, there was no other prouder person in the room than Hector's assistant named T-Top. As he watched her striking those poses, the ones that he himself had coached her on, he was squealing again and making that awful long-winded laugh that seemed to go on and on and on. Finally, after hours of grueling modeling, Eve was spent. She sat on the chair reserved for models and breathed a sigh of relief. But her rest didn't last long, as Hector, Mr. Hollywood as Eve called him, asked for a deposit on the photos. This was no joke. You don't just throw around demands for a deposit on something that was already paid for. Eve's mind whirled out of control. Beads of sweat formed on her brow. There was nothing hilarious about having to fork over cash after believing that Mr. Sabine had arranged to take care of all the expenses. She thought he had even said it on their train ride into New York. Eve was vaguely aware that Julie had hustled back into the model's chamber from the waiting room to join her.
Deposit!
Eve blasted.
Are you effing serious?
I mean, what the heck? I'm sorry, I did not mean to use your name in vain, but Mr. Hollywood, this is kind of outrageous. I have to be honest and tell you that I thought Glenn Sabine was paying for the photos. He's the one who invited me to the contest, after all. I mean, not paying for my pictures would be like asking me out on a dinner date and leaving the check with me. Come on, Heck. You must know what the heck I'm talking about. I mean, hell, not heck.
Hector was holding back a condescending grin. I think that's exactly what has happened, my lovely supermodel. An absolutely brilliant analogy. I love it, But if it is price you are worried about, my goodness, they always complain about price. I can tell you, I do make a special price for you, Miss Teenager contestants, he explained. Practically work for the love of it. You know what that means? It means I love it. And I get nothing, absolutely nothing in return for these hard days at work. Sweating and clicking the cameras, it is so hard. And dealing with that crazy assistant up, my goodness. You know, I cannot fire him. It is a labor board issue. It is, set in stone, as they say. As they say. I don't know who they are who say it, but they say it, and he stays. And I pay him more than 50%. How am I supposed to live on this? I have to pay rent in Manhattan of all places. I need to eat, Do you need to eat? Anyway, thank you so much for listening to my raving. It's so wonderful that you are here today. Now, that would be $200.
Excuse me? Did you just say something, Heck? Because my ear just tricked me into thinking you said $200. That's a lot of effing money in 1961, heck. I mean, what the heck do you do with all that cash anyway, you weirdo? I'm sorry, but if I'm going to afford such a ripoff... Did I say ripoff? I meant extremely unfair price, after taxes, of course. I think the only way I can do this is to take out a loan with minimum interest at low turnover, know what I mean?
How was that even possible, she thought? Didn't Hector realize that in this day and age, that amount would be the equivalent of $1,859.18, judging on the average inflation rate per year of 3.72%, of course. Well, Pops had been a lawyer with exceptionally good math skills, so the calculation was a no-brainer for Eve. But $200? Without Pops here, how would she even have access to that kind of cash? Outside in the foyer, Julie was writing out a check for the amount that the photographer requested, pressing the pen almost through the carbon copy as she wrote.
I'm doing this for you, Eve. Because I believe in you. Because you are my sister. And it's definitely not because this Hector of Hollywood is a major scam artist if I ever saw one,
Julie said. Eve felt a bolt of lightning, of guilt, tear through her heart.
Thanks so much, Julie. Man, this is one time when I am glad you faked a business meeting and decided to come with me. What would I have done without you? Imagine, I might have had to spend the rest of the week on the streets under a bridge somewhere, talking to myself and listening to some other homeless guy talk about the good old days when he could subway hop for free. Anyway, Julie. Thanks, I owe you big time. I'll pay you back when I've won, Julie. Honest, I will.
Yes, she would, Eve determined to herself. She had staked her entire life on this Miss Teen pageant, and by golly, she was going to walk up on that stage and kick some beauty contest behind. Her motivation now was to make Hector feel guilty. When he realizes he just photographed the future TV star of the 1960s, well, he would feel so guilty he would return her $200 and see her an additional $500. For the love of it, Heck. For the love of it.
And with that, another sunset settles upon our lovely podcast. Whether you're an old hat around here or fresh off the boat, we're glad you're here. And hey, if you're new, I'm Juliette Jones. I'm I'm the true star around here, even though my sister Eve, with her beautiful blonde hair and extrovert attitude, consistently steals the spotlight. Well, technically she's not stealing. I'm giving it to her. It's kind of her moment to shine. But yeah, she's getting duped big time. I mean, there's this Glenn Zabine and that punk setter, but now there's Mr. Holy Hector of so-called Hollywood too? Way too many connivers around here. That's why I'm here. You get to see where that leads in our next episode. Thanks for joining the ride. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you love romance novels, you should totally check out the website of author Dave A. Gardner. His website is authordaveagardner.com. Come for the books and stay for the free pizza. My sister Eve highly recommends his books. She's always up way past her bedtime, just reading under a bedside light, wiping tears with a tissue. Happy tears, she calls them. She's so in love with him. I mean, his stories. So yeah, dear listeners, have a great week. And until next time, may love always bloom in your heart like the lovely rose that you are. You are so deeply loved. I hope you know that. Love you with bells and whistles. Kisses. Bye-bye.